Chase Myers.
Looking for the perfect way to spend a spring Saturday? Make it WSIC's Family Fest, May 2nd from 7 to 2 at Purple Heart Homes in Statesville. It's more than just great deals, it's live music, local food, family fun, and a chance to give back. A portion of proceeds supports Purple Heart Homes and their mission to serve veterans with safe housing. Bring the kids, bring your friends, and enjoy a day that truly means something. Visit WSICnews.com for details.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I want to see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now. Biz Now, because your business matters.
You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at WSIC. This month's special host is the woman behind the mantra, "Don't dream it, live it." A relentless champion of people who are ready to stop talking about their goals and finally step into them. She has built a reputation and a contagious belief that everyday conversations and ordinary people can create extraordinary lives. Co-founded Monkeys in Hats, a digital website development company serving clients across the United States and internationally. Founder of Top Notch Nail Files, and turned it into an international e-commerce brand shipping patented glass nails around the world. Award-winning speaker who has created programs such as Achieving the Life of Your Dreams, When You Get Knocked Down, How to Get Back Up, and many more. Today, she brings the same energy, excitement, and authenticity to this show. So lean in, take a breath, get ready to be challenged, encouraged, and inspired as we welcome our special host who doesn't just talk about possibilities, she lives them. Colleen's community impact is as impressive as her personal life. Named one of top women in business for extraordinary community leadership, give a warm welcome and lots of respect to my friend, even if she won't admit it. Our special host for this month, one of the most impressive people I know, Colleen Lloyd-Roberts. Colleen, take it away.
Hey, Joe. Thank you so much for that introduction. Surely ChatGPT wrote that, because I don't think you wrote that. What beautiful, lovely things you have to say. All right, I'm really excited about today's topic. We're going to talk about burnout, but then we're going to talk about how one woman is turning that around and crushing it with a whole new mission that is going to turn into a movement that is going to affect thousands, maybe millions of people, and especially women around the globe. So let me just ask you, our listening audience, have you ever had a job where you start your day already bracing yourself? Like, not even for the work you love, but for the battles you know that are coming. Before you even get to do the thing that lights you up, you're already putting out fires. You're already having conversations that you didn't want to have, and you've spent more energy defending the work than actually doing that, all before your morning coffee. And it's not that you don't care. It's that you care so much. And the system you're working inside makes it exhaustingly hard to actually help the people that you really want to show up for. Because let's be honest, some people, like lawyers, are wired for the fight. They thrive in it. But a lot of people, especially the ones who lead with heart, who go into careers because they genuinely want to help people, we're not wired for that daily resilience. We're not wired for that daily resistance. We're not wired for that constant pushback and the red tape or having to justify over and over and over again why somebody needs and deserves care. That is what burnout, that is where burnout creeps in. That is where burnout starts. And it's not because you're weak. It's not because you chose the wrong path, but it's because of how you have to show up every day. It's completely out of alignment from what you're really passionate about. And today's conversation starts with burnout. And when do you finally say, this isn't sustainable anymore? Something has to change. When do you draw that line in the sand? Because sometimes burnout isn't telling you to try harder. It's telling you that there's another way. And today's guest is someone who lived that and has the courage to do something about it. Welcome, my guest, Courtney Hamilton.
Hello.
So I'm so excited that you're here today, Courtney. Let's start with burnout. So let's start with your life as a therapist. When did you first start to feel the shift from passion to burnout?
I would say that I started to first feel that after I went into private practice and was really seeing clients, one after the other, hour after hour. And that was how you also, you did your passion by helping people, but you also had to, earn an income. So the more clients you see, the more income you make, right? And so it went from really enjoying doing the work to now this is my livelihood. And then I would say as I went into private practice, I was, finding my way. And it's very difficult when you're in a private practice setting because it stretches you as a therapist. But then whenever I transitioned into opening my own practice about 3.5 years ago, that's when I really started to feel it because it now was not just about seeing clients, earning an income, but it was taking care of other therapists. It was, my own personal life, what I had going on. And then running a business, which I was trying to figure out along the way as well.
And I also remember when you and I first met and we were first chatting about this, like the red tape.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you saying how just exhausting it would be sometimes arguing with insurance companies over the red tape for them to pay their clients. Like you were literally like talking them into the fact that their clients genuinely needed help.
Yes. And that is probably one of the most difficult parts of the business of being a therapist when you do bill insurances. You are constantly worried about, so you also live in fear a little bit because you're helping someone and you're working with a client. And then ultimately, these insurance, we actually call it clawbacks in the industry. They do these clawbacks. They come in, they audit you. They want to make sure that you are documenting that these people need this therapy. And so you're worried to death that if they come back and they do these audits and they don't like what you've documented, they could, claw back monies.
Wow. So what do you think that people misunderstand about that? I know we're going to commercial break here in a few seconds, but what do you think people misunderstand when they think about going into a helping profession?
They go into it because they have a big heart to help and they don't realize what all it entails because you don't just get to do the thing that you're passionate about. You have to do so much documentation. You have to think about all of that red tape, and then you have to really defend your position.
All right, so stick with us because now we're going to talk about guilt from walking away. Stay tuned. That's what we're going to tackle next.
12 years strong, Joe Vagnone is still delivering the conversations that count. More Local Biz Now after the break, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Here, if you're in Facebook, has ever felt burned out? Who has ever felt burned out? Anyone? Drop a comment, drop a fire. We are live, by the way. We can see your comments. Let's see. Oh, awesome. Courtney is lighting it up with all her friends. What did you say? You put out the
The bat signal.
Courtney put out the bat signal today. So love it. Look at all these comments right here. All these great people showing up for you, Courtney. That's fantastic. Gosh, you have a great bat signal, girlfriend.
Thank you. And some people were texting saying, I don't know. I can't find you. I can't find the live. So
That's fantastic. So everybody that is currently listening, just drop us a fire emoji if you have ever been in the experience or been in the position of feeling that burnout. And if you want to share what it was that burned you out, like definitely look at that. That's a big firebomb there by Jackson. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
Jackson Pipe? I don't know my glasses on. Jackson
Yes.
Pipe. I'm gonna say that's a big old fireball right there. Samantha chiming in with me too. So yeah, lots of burnout. Burnout is real, and 2 firebombs there. Gosh, they are rolling in. So burnout is real, and I think that we feel it in a lot of different capacities. But yes, I especially think that you're right, Courtney. People who we're so focused and we want to help, and you lead with heart, and that's why we get into what we get into. And then all of a sudden we're in it, and then there's all this other stuff that we're just like, I don't want to fight with you today. I just want to go help all these people.
right, absolutely. And then you start questioning, oh my goodness, I've worked my whole life for this. And then is this what I'm going to do or be able to do it for the rest of my life? Right.
Yeah, Julie Wozniak. Okay. Julie Wozniak, for those listening, is Joe Vagnone's former assistant. So the fact that she only put 1 fire, Julie, I thought you would have put like 10.
And I have so many of my friends here and employees that, work for On the Road or Hell Yeah, talking about parenting, Christina, parenting, working full-time, single mom, it's and that's actually what happened for me as well, as working single mom, red tape, having to defend, the fear about worrying about, whether or not we were going to have these clawbacks.
All right, awesome. We're going to be back on air in just 3 seconds, and we're going to pick up this conversation live on the radio.
If you've just joined us, you picked the right moment. We have one of the most impressive people I know hosting this month, Colleen Lloyd-Roberts. She doesn't just talk about dreams, she reverse engineers them into real business, real clients, and real impact. Colleen is a multi-business founder, an award-winning speaker, and a Think and Grow Rich coach who has helped people all over the country turn one small idea into a life they can live and be proud of. So sit back, turn up the volume, and get ready for one-on-one with Colleen Lloyd-Roberts. Colleen, the show's all yours. Take it from here.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Let me ask you, do you think burnout is sometimes life's way of saying this version of your life just doesn't fit anymore?
Absolutely.
Because I think a lot of people, they're not broken, they're just misaligned. And I think people confuse burnout with feeling broken.
Yeah. Yes. I love that you said that.
And for anyone listening here who feels stuck right now, listen, it's okay to grow, and it's okay to outgrow the life that you really once thought was your passion. And maybe it still is, but maybe that passion needs to pivot. So let's talk about pivoting. All right. Tell us what happened next.
So after feeling just like this albatross, and I actually thought about that word on the way to do this radio show, is that I wanted to say I got to a point where my passion became my albatross around my neck. And, I ended up deciding I needed to do something different, but I had no clue what I was going to do. And I don't want to get ahead of myself on you kind of asking, moving into the next phase, but this wonderful opportunity, came, and it was scary because it was so out of the norm of what I had been doing. I could do therapy with my hands behind my back, right? But, creating we talked about this, a badass merch, right? A line. I had no clue how I was going to do this. So it was exciting though.
So you met Holly and something clicked.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just take a moment here to say, when something clicks, when there's something in your gut that is telling you, this is so freaking far out of my comfort zone, but this feels a little bit right.
Yes.
You got to jump on that.
Yes. You know what? I think my background and then meeting Holly, I have always rooted for the underdog. And that was another key phrase I wanted to make sure that I said in this interview is, I am all about women empowerment and I'm all about rooting for the underdog. And Holly was the epitome of the underdog in this story.
So let's talk a little bit about Holly. Just give us the snippets of her life. She's had quite a life. We do have an interview. We are going to be releasing it on their social media channels, but give us a little snippet of Holly's life.
Yes. So she grew up and, with not like just your mom and your dad. I got to know a lot about Holly when I did the interview, and she had a rough upbringing. And one of the main things that she said when I interviewed, Colleen, you had asked about the why, is she said, because I needed to succeed. She said, I can succeed. And everyone was telling her they were future forecasting that she was not going to succeed. And the fact that she was so passionate about succeeding, it just made my heart like warm. And this whole concept of second chances, because again, my background, right? That's what I do, is help people, that make mistakes or that do have struggles to have second chances or to believe in themselves. And so getting to have these moments with Holly and also being like, wow, hearing like, you did this on your own. Like you said, I am not going to fail. I'm going to succeed. And she actually will tell you, she did not ever think she would come as far as she has.
Which is amazing. Let's talk first about Hail Yeah. And then, which is really cool. I was like, wow, I kind of get to swear on the radio waves.
Right.
But it's just like a Wisconsin girl with a really Southern accent going, Hail Yeah. But that's really it's the name of some merch line and a mission that's coming up. We're going to talk about that in a second, but it is actually Holly's company. So let's talk about that. What did she do? This amazing woman who beat all the odds and beat down all of those negative influences and negativity in her mind, overcame all that, started a company. What did she start?
Yeah, so she started Hail Yeah Mobile Maintenance. She was given an opportunity from my partner in my life, who I adore, to actually take what she was doing, which was just working as a diesel mechanic. And she had to knock down a lot of doors to even get those opportunities. No one wanted to interview her. Men actually said, and I wanted to make sure I said this, they said, why don't you put a dress on and go sit behind a desk? And she said, hell no. She said, I'm not doing that. I wanted this. I'm passionate. Her grandfather taught her how to work on all sorts of things, vehicle, automotive type things growing up. So that was a big part of her story, is her grandfather. So then she gets this opportunity to start this business, and she thought she was just going to go work for my partner. And he said no. He said, I want you to partner with me in this, be the majority, and I want you to run this. I'm just going to kind of be in the back burner doing this. So they got together. She decided she was going to talk to a lot of customers that she had been working with, and she started Hell Yeah Mobile Maintenance. So that's the mobile maintenance side of the story.
And I just want to say, we're going to get a list from Holly of all those guys that told her to put a dress on, and she said, hell no. And we're going to send them a Hail Yeah t-shirt.
That's right.
Take that.
Take that.
So what I'm hearing you say, this is not just a career shift. This is like a movement.
Yes.
And so Holly Hale created a mobile mechanics company, And it is an amazing company. And she learned mechanics from her grandfather.
Yes.
So she took something that she already knew, and then she just started to evolve and create it into a business.
Yes.
And from there, we are now expanding that into what?
So it's Hell Yeah, and it's the merchant apparel side of the company. And it started with an OG line of honestly just staff apparel, right? And my fabulous partner was wearing this apparel, and I'm like, everyone would always, where did you get that? Where did you get that? Where'd you get that shirt? Where can I get that hoodie? And I'm like, we need to turn this into something, right? And then they got together, Holly and my partner, and it was amazing because this was something you asked me earlier that I didn't realize. It actually, burnout was happening for her in her industry, right? And her company, even though it was successful and she's doing this great work, like it ultimately started to, she said she was losing her passion of why did I do this? Why did I start this? What's my purpose? And so when the idea was presented to her, she said, hell yeah.
All right. So we've gone from an OG merch line that says "Hail Yeah" and "Show Us Your Booms," which I love.
Yes. Love that one.
So, if you don't know what are booms, tell our listening audience in case they're not into the heavy equipment.
Yes.
What is a boom?
Yeah, so the mobile maintenance company that she does, they go to large yards and they do light maintenance repair and they do mobile oil changes for these large companies with these big utility trucks. So think, when you're driving down the road, you see a big utility truck with an arm where it's lifting somebody up to, do tree work or power line work or whatever it is, that's a boom. And this is so cool. I actually talked to Holly on the way here and said, I need to remember this part of the story. Where did, Show Us Your Booms and Grease Queens, which I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself there, come from? Her wife, actually, it came to her in a dream.
Oh, I love that.
I know. I was like, I have to make sure I say on the air where it came from. And it did. It came, and then they started putting it on the staff apparel, the OG apparel. And that's where everyone's like, oh my gosh, I want this, right? It's so cool.
I love that. You guys do not ignore your dreams. Monkeys and Hats, the name of our company, came to Richard, my husband, Richard, my business partner, in a dream.
Oh my goodness.
Came in a dream.
I love that.
Yeah. You know what? I think sometimes the universe downloads to us.
Yes.
For me, I don't get stuff in a dream. I get it in the shower.
Oh, yes, yes. I get it random times too, but her wife is amazing as well. And she is so creative. And these ideas were there. And, she was like, they just weren't doing much with them at the time.
So, this isn't just merch. This is like an identity.
Yes.
This is an identity. What does it mean for a woman to see herself in something so big, like someone like Holly? What does it feel like to see yourself in something so big? And I know that this is just getting off the ground, but I know she knows this is big.
Yes. Yes.
What does that feel like for her? I know we're answering for you, Holly. You're probably listening.
Yes. She, again, that said, I never thought I would come this far. And when asked what were her dreams with the company and now with the merchant apparel line, she actually started crying. She shared with me that she just started crying and didn't even know how to answer it because she had never thought she would be here. So to be able to speak about this movement and empowering women, I think now with this part of the equation, I think she's blown away about what we may be able to accomplish with this merch line.
Well, everybody, stay tuned. We dropped a teaser, Grease Queens. We're going to talk about that when we get right back from commercial break.
Nice.
Perfect. That is beautiful. Perfect. We've got some comments here.
Yeah, we have staff from the company. I love it.
Look at that. Welcome, everyone from Hail Yeah. It's so great to have you join us. That is phenomenal.
Reagan's one of our grease queens, so I love that she's in the comments.
I love it. This is fantastic. super fantastic. Welcome, everybody. I hope we are doing you proud. And let's see, we have about 4 minutes that we're going to hang out here. So we are going to just do some extra bonus content for everybody that's here on Facebook with us for the next 4 minutes. And let's talk a little bit about how you have taken this and it started as this dream. And what happens? So there's a dream, and then you wake up and you're like, I had this dream. This is what I see. And then in comes Courtney. How did you water that? How did you water that seed?
I think the phrases and the terms that, we brought to the table, it's still evolving. So I think believing in Holly and believing in this movement and, being a voice, because she is never going to be one that's going to want to be in the limelight. I think she loves my excitement about it. And I think I'm hoping to transfer that to, everyone, staff. I hope it reinvigorates staff that may be feeling burned out at the company, right? And I hope that, seeing that I want to do everyone proud and I want this to be successful. So water it by believing in it. I water it by really, knowing, again, back to that underdog statement, right? Like wanting these women to feel seen. That was a big part of when I was answering one of the emails that you were asking me for some content. I want them to feel seen, and I want them to know that, they don't have to give up just because someone tells them you should put a dress on and go behind, a desk. And so not just for, that piece, but just to know that you can do anything you put your mind to. If you've made mistakes, right, you can have second chances. Like, just because you don't maybe always make the right decisions, you can always wake up and decide to be motivated and better yourself the next day. And so I think that's one of the reasons why that we work so well together with the watering, because I believe in it and I believe in her.
And that really, you know what? That's all it really takes is belief. Belief. That's the foundation. What the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
Yes.
What happens when a woman who's been overlooked, underestimated, or starting over finally feels seen?
Wow. Well, I would say probably for Holly, it's butt puckering because she doesn't want to be in the limelight. I told her, I was like, what are you going to do when this thing gets so successful? And then, everybody knows you. So I think for a lot of women out there, being seen is amazing, and it's empowering, and it's confidence building.
Perfect. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So we've got just about 20 seconds left, and we're going to be live on the air. So I am really going to, I want to start out when we get back on the air. I want to start out with Grease Queens.
Yes.
And the merch line. We're going to talk all about merch in just a few seconds. Oh man, on Facebook, it is really hard to draw out the seconds.
No, I love it because I was afraid I was going to have too many seconds, and they were going to be saying, "Hey, you gotta stop."
That is so funny. We are watching a clock tick down in front of us and waiting for is it Kayla? Kayla, waiting for Kayla to give us a thumbs up and go, we are live on the radio.
Lloyd-Roberts. Colleen, the show's all yours. Take it from here.
Awesome. Here we are back live, and we had a lot of great conversation on Facebook. So radio listeners, this show is live on Facebook, on WSIC Facebook page, and it will hang out, I think, for about 30 days. So I really hope we do go deep in the Facebook Live during the commercial break. So I really do hope that you'll go onto the Facebook page and listen in, because there is some great stuff that you're missing out. Some great heartfelt inspiration that happens during commercial break. All right. What the heck is Grease Queens?
So this term again came to Stacy, Holly's wife, in a dream, and the thing that I think is so amazing about this is I think she's going to be the shining star, right? I think of the merch and apparel. I think she's going to come front and center, and I'm seeing it as this movement and this project is evolving, that she's coming front and center. And I love her because when I was doing my presentation for our staff meeting in Nashville, I had a picture of Holly up on my PowerPoint, and she was the grease queen. She had grease all over her. She was working hands deep in, whatever she was working on at the time. And I said to the staff, I said, she was the OG grease queen. But so it just was this amazing term that came up of women in the diesel mechanic industry that, work with their hands and get in the grease. And I had another really great picture of Reagan. She had a big pan of oil in front of her, and she was just sitting there with that big pan of oil after doing an oil change. And I was like, wow, these are our grease queens,
Now, how much fun have you had working with Grease Queens, and how has the Grease Queen started to evolve? I know you're just getting started, which we're going to talk about that. But how has the Grease Queen already started to evolve?
That's a great question, Colleen, because originally we wanted something, I want this movement to come into every home. So I want it to be a lifestyle brand so everyone can wear it, not just women, but men as well. But what was important to Holly was that this image of this grease queen, she wasn't sexualized. She wasn't too overtly, boomy, as we like to talk about these booms. So we were trying to find a good space between her, being able to be sold and people wanting to purchase her and her being attractive, but also respecting what we wanted to do, which was to empower women.
So what has it actually been like to start something from the ground up, literally like a blank slate? What's that been like?
Exciting, exhilarating, and really scary, actually, because I am so behind this that I don't want to disappoint, and I want it to be successful, and I want to do our Grease Queens proud.
So have you had moments where you're like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Absolutely. And trying to figure it out. But I always say, if, I'm not pooping my pants, then I am not growing and changing and challenging myself.
Right.
And I sometimes, but that means I'm challenging myself.
Okay. So do you wear diapers?
Not yet.
So coming soon to a website near you, we're gonna have Grease Queen diapers. Oh my God, that would actually
depends.
Or depends. Yes, for people our age, or depends. So people think starting over is risky, but staying stuck, I think, is riskier. What do you think?
Yes, I agree.
So let's talk about second chance women.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Why that target audience, and why now?
Yes, because when you think about individuals who have made mistakes in their life, right? Whether it be due to addiction, or they didn't, they had a childhood where they weren't set up for success, or, they made the wrong turn or the wrong choice, everyone deserves a second chance, I think. And, Holly will talk about kind of her second chances crew, right? That she loves to be able to give, individuals, and not just women, but also, men as well, a second chance at a job, right? A chance to earn a good living. And maybe they've been told in their life that they weren't going to be successful, right? Maybe they didn't finish high school, or they didn't go to college, and, they are looking for a career. And that's what she was so passionate about, saying, this can be for everyone, not just, individuals who have training. You can learn, you can grow, you can start a career, even if you've, made mistakes in the past or had issues.
Where is this going? What's the vision here? Like, let's talk about that.
So I think it's evolving, right? Which is something I love to say, that we don't actually have it all figured out yet. But I know one of the biggest things that we want to accomplish is creating scholarships for women who need second chances or who want to get into the mechanic industry, because there's very few women in the industry and very few women that own businesses in the industry. So we hope to, have enough revenue to eventually have scholarships to train women to do. We also want to do little snippets, little videos where we're teaching women how to not be taken advantage of when you go to get your oil changed at a service place, how to change your tire, how to check your oil, right? So we want to have education for women in those fields or those areas, as well as, them having chances to maybe jump into a new career that they didn't know that they could, like with Holly being told you can't do it. We're saying you can.
I love that. So just like Xing out that T, get rid of that T, no apostrophe T.
Yep.
Love that. How can people support? How can they get involved? How can they be part of this movement?
I would say going on the socials, right? We're going to be having all sorts of fun videos, and we're going to be having, great fun things coming out. So liking things, following things, and then ultimately when we drop our apparel and our merch, going and purchasing things, telling your friends about it, telling about the purpose behind it. It's not just a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or a tank top, right? Or a Grease Queen mug. It's ultimately a movement, and it's supportive and it's empowering.
All right. So if you're out there and you might be thinking to yourself, gosh, number one, I want to support. Or number two, maybe you've got ideas. Maybe you've got an idea for a mission on your own, or you've got these merch ideas that you're like, how do I even do this? This is such a great time for you to see real life how to get started, because we are going to drop Hail Yaz social media accounts. And when you go to them, you're going to see no postings.
Yep.
You're going to see no followers, maybe there's a couple followers,
Yep.
but you are going to be able to get in. I mean, every company says this, get in on the ground floor, but you are really in on the ground floor.
Yes.
Because there are this is brand new. The website is currently being built right now. The web developer, whom I know personally, is right now plugging away on the computer, building a site. And these social media accounts literally have just gone up yesterday. They're 24 hours old. So let's go ahead and share your social media accounts. Did you set up a YouTube as well?
We did. That actually did not pull up, but so it's Hell Yeah MM, and that's Insta, right?
But I want to say Hail Yeah.
Hail Yeah. So HALE, and that's a whole nother piece to this, right? That's Holly's last name. So that's paying homage to who she is. So Hail Yeah, HALEYEAHMM, that's Insta. And then on Facebook, it's just Hail Yeah. And that's again HALEYEAH.
Awesome. And do you remember what your YouTube channel was?
That's interesting. I think I took a little note for what that was.
Okay, well, we'll get that to you before
Yes.
this show ends, because we've got we've got some more time before the show ends, so we'll get that to you. But this is really exciting, you get in. We all see the commercials late at night of the sad dogs, and we give our money, and the beautiful, wonderful hospitals for children, and all of these great movements that are out there, but we see them when they're already robust and they've got enough budget to already be on TV. But this is so exciting, because this is literally ground floor, just getting started. So stay tuned. We're going to make sure that we get all of these socials to you, and we're going to come right back. Stay with us on Facebook Live. We're going to come back to you all in Radio Land in just a few minutes after this commercial break. Okay, awesome. So you look up your YouTube channel there, and you can also, would Richard know it? You can also text.
Let me ask him.
You can also text him and go, hey, I'm live right now. Can you tell
me? Can you help me out? I don't know why, but that's one I did not put
the
down
YouTube.
there.
So Let's just check our comments here. Used my gifted Grease Queen coffee mug this morning. All right, I think that is from Emma. That sound right? Do I have that name? I'm so sorry if that's not your name. I don't have my glasses on.
No, you're right. It's Emma. And it's fun. So that was another part of, they got an OG version of the Grease Queen. So and I told them at the meeting, we had to get this stuff ordered. So they got to see the process as it was coming along as well. So they got to see a more boomy version of the Grease Queen. Because that's what she looked like initially whenever we first started. So we were honing her in.
And I love that because maybe someday these OG merch are going to be worth something. Maybe they'll be in the Hell Yeah Museum someday. Those
Hell yeah.
The OG merch is going to be original stuff. It's going to be like collector's items. People are going to want it. They're going to pay big bucks for it. But I'm really, really, really excited about the cool evolutions that have started to come about. We've, talked about different, different hair colors. Like some women, who are redheads might want to have a redheaded Grease Queen.
Yes.
Some women who are blondes might want to have a blonde Grease Queen. So just creating
their own personalized GQ
their
is
own
that color.
Yes. So those are all things that are in the evolution, which is so exciting.
Oh, I have to give a shout out. Stacy is here. This is Holly's wife, and she said, "Hell yeah, Courtney Hamilton, way to go!"
Oh,
we love you, Stacy, and we love all you guys. Samantha, Emma, I love that all of these staff are on here. It's great.
So I just want to say, really, way to show up, everybody. I just want to huge shout out to everyone at Hell Yeah right now, because this is freaking community right now. This is what is a mission right here. All of you showing up. You knew Courtney was going to be on here. I don't even know where you are in the world right now, what the heck you're doing, and you all freaking showed up and you're commenting, and that is power, that is mission, that is beyond words amazing. So thank you all. This is such a great example. Again, radio listeners,
Holly's here. She's with us.
Holly is in the house.
She's in the house.
She's in the Facebook house.
She's in the Facebook house. Hey, girl. Hey.
And we're back. She is a multi-business founder, an award-winning speaker, and a co-founder of the impressive digital marketing firm called Monkeys in Hats. So sit back, turn up the volume, and get ready for one and only Colleen Lloyd-Roberts. Colleen, the show's all yours. Take it from here.
All right. Thank you so much, Joe. Again, love those introductions that I'm sure ChatGPT wrote for you. Ha, ha, ha. All right. So let's do some fun. Rapid fire questions here that I've got for you, Courtney. I got a boatload of questions because it's an hour show.
Yeah, it's flown by, though. I'm shocked.
Blown by. No, right? It goes so fast. But we could talk for hours, I think.
I think we could.
All right. So let's go here. What is the biggest surprise about working in this space?
When you talked about that when I first got here, I was like really thinking, because I wanted to go and really give a great answer here. And I think the staff's passion and like them being so excited for this, like I don't know if I knew it was going to be that welcomed, and everyone's just so excited for it. So I think that was probably the biggest surprise for me.
Well, I gotta say, I don't know, someone can like do some stats on this, but I don't think we have ever had a bigger turnout of staff, of team showing up to support a guest on the show. I think you are the queen. You are the grease queen, the radio queen. You are it. So that is for sure. You guys have the heart right here to kick ass on this mission.
We got community here.
Oh, total community. All right. Describe Hell Yeah in 3 words.
I wanted to say so many different things, but when we spoke, you kind of helped me. I love it. Girl power activated.
Boom.
Hell yeah.
Mic drop. What's something people would never expect about this brand or this mission?
Oh my goodness. That the owner of the company is such an amazing person, but she's so quiet and so humble that you wouldn't realize what an amazing human she is, because she's never going to step into a room like this, right? I never say never, but she's not going to be a person who really, wants to take like credit for how far she's come and this big, amazing dream that she's now trying to, I think, identify.
So, Holly, you might not step into a room like this, but girl, we're going to get you on YouTube.
Yes. I told her, I said, girl, you better be ready to do some videos and to empower some women. If she's in front of a truck or she's working on something, she can speak all day long. But if she's not next to that truck, or she's not next to, a car or a big utility truck, she freezes up.
Oh, well, the beautiful thing about cameras is they go anywhere.
Yes.
She'll have her own film crew. Move over, Micro. Here comes Holly Hale.
Right.
Getting dirty.
Yes.
All right, what's more fun? Therapy sessions or building a badass merch line?
Building a badass merch line, hands down.
All right, so we talked about where this is going. We talked about what's the vision. And we talked about how people can support, get involved, and get into this movement. I want to just hit that a little harder. I want to give some extra airtime here to your social media, because this is literally ground up stuff, right? This is square one. This is like less than 10 followers, 0. They don't even have a Facebook header yet on their Facebook page. There's no header on their YouTube channel, but you could go, wouldn't it be great? Let's get our first 50. Let's see if we can get 100. Let's see if we can get 100 followers before they get their first post up, just to show how much support that we are giving this mission and this community. So where can everybody go on Instagram, Facebook, and did you get a response on the YouTube channel?
He said that it's under my Gmail account, and I'm so technologically
Oh.
main. And then he said, then log in and then go to YouTube. So that we're going to have to follow
All
back
right.
up at another time. But on Insta, it's Hale Yeah MM. And remember, that's HALEYEAHMM. And then on Facebook, it's Hale Yeah, and it's all capital and HALEYEAH.
All right, awesome. So let's go there. Let's show them some love. Let's show them some support. And tell your friends, let's do this. Let's get 100 followers before they get their first post, before they get their header up. Maybe we should put it out there to say we're not going to post yet. We're not going to put a header up until we get 100 followers.
100 followers. I love that.
Let's just be totally OG and unique and do something different and be like, we got 100 followers and we didn't even post anything yet.
Well, and there's a TikTok too. And that one, actually, I think I had, because that one's brand new as well. I think it's Hell Yeah as well, MM. So I've got to get all this stuff going, girl. Like you said, ground up. This is we just got all this stuff going last week. So
yeah, this is really literally ground up. So exciting. All right. So let's just recap a little bit here about burnout. Let's recap about burnout to huge mission.
mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that again.
Okay.
What advice do you have for anybody that's listening, anyone that's watching, that is just not feeling aligned anymore in their lives? And they're just like, there is something bigger out there for me to be doing. Like, what do you have to inspire them, to tell them to take some action?
Yeah, take a chance, right? You may feel comfortable in your line of work or in life or your relationship or whatever it may be that you are involved in, and you're feeling burned out and you're feeling like you need something else. But it's so scary to make change and challenge yourself. And that's why I said earlier, if I'm not, gritting my teeth, then I'm not challenging myself. I'm not, empowering myself. I'm staying stagnant. So take a chance, right? Take a chance on yourself. Take a chance on something. And if you fail, it's okay, because ultimately we learn from failure. And a lot of people don't do things because they're so afraid to fail. And I think it's important, I'm kind of talking to myself right now too, because I told you earlier, I'm worried, right? I don't want to disappoint. I don't want to be a failure. But I think that it's important that you try things and you learn from your failure and you learn from your mistakes.
I wonder how many amazing things are not going to ever come to fruition because someone's afraid, because
Yes.
someone doesn't know. They're afraid. They're like, that's so far outside my comfort zone. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what to do. Or the worst thing, like someone in their family or a friend or a loved one told them you can't do that. I mean,
Yes.
this is, Holly, I'm probably speaking your story right now, but that's true for anybody. That's true for anybody. Like
Yeah.
I've been told, I've had somebody look at me and go, oh, well, it's really good to have a pipe dream. I'm like, it's not a freaking pipe dream. I'm going to do this.
Yes.
Thank you very
absolutely.
much.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Are you like the kind of person when someone says I can't do it, like I'm even more? I'm like, oh yeah, now it's game on. I'm really going to do it now.
Yep, like hold my beer. Watch this.
I know, right? For me, it'd be like, hold my bottle of champagne,
Yes,
please.
yes.
I'm going to get all over this.
But I wanted to say this really quick. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And I love that because, like you said, so many people let fear hold them back. So don't let that false evidence.
Beautiful, beautiful,
real.
beautiful. Love that. All right. So everyone listening out there, if you've ever felt burned out, stuck, or like the life you built just doesn't seem to fit anymore, let this be a reminder. Tune in to this broadcast. Tune in, follow Courtney, follow Hail Yeah as they build. Sometimes the breakdown is really just the beginning. Sometimes the thing that exhausts you is the very thing pointing you toward what's next. You are allowed to pivot in life. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to build a life that feels like you again. And maybe, just maybe, the next chapter you've been afraid to step into is the one that changes everything. So when something in your life feels heavy, it's not always something to fix. Sometimes it's something to release, to let go. And this is why I like to say I believe God created tennis shoes so that we can all pivot.
I love a good pivot.
Love a good pivot. So thank you so much, Courtney, for driving here, sitting in all that traffic, getting to the studio today. I really, really appreciate it. And man, oh man, I just want to say huge, big hugs, shout outs to everyone. I mean, look at this. Look at, look at all of these comments, all the people that showed up. This is a mission right here. This is heart. This is soul. These are women and men who are serious about making things happen because they are showing up on Facebook today to support Courtney, but to support themselves as they really get this mission off the ground. So please, please, please join them on Facebook, join them on Instagram. We'll get the YouTube. Maybe that'll be the first post is go also like us on YouTube, but I'm going to put it out there. Let's just go and get their first 100 followers for them. So thank you all so much for this opportunity. Thank you for joining us today. And I hope you'll join me next week where I've got 3 amazing women we are going to take to the lake next week.
Great radio doesn't end here. Catch the full episode and dive or into our archives on the WSIC News app.
WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, and 1400 AM, Statesville.